All right, day 2 of semester review, starting with number 29, but we're doing evens together because you have answers for the odds. On 30, what's happening between -6 and -9? Well, operation. They're multiplying, so all you got to do is just multiply them together. Negative times a negative gives you a positive, and then 6 times 9? 54. Okay, so this is testing that you know operations and their different parts, okay? All right, looking at 32, what do we do first since there's more than 2 terms?
Multiply -2 with 8.
We just go left to right, right?
Yeah.
So we have -2 times 8. First off, is that going to be negative or positive? Negative 2 times 8? 16 times -8. Now we have a negative times a negative. Positive, and then what's 16 times 8? 128, thank you. Okay, on 34, we have more terms. How do we do that?
Left to right.
Left to right. 9 times 2? 18. And then I'm going to rewrite. Now what do we do here? Yep, we have positive times a negative. Negative 18x. Oh, I'm getting these mixed up. Negative 18 times negative 10. We have negative times a negative. Positive, so it would be 180. So that's just making sure you're watching out for those negatives. Negative times a negative is positive. Negative times a positive is a negative. All right, 36. What's happening between 18 and -2? Dividing. Same rules apply. We have a positive divided by a negative. What do we get? A negative. 18 divided by 2? 9. 38. We have a positive divided by a positive. So we get positive. What's 16 divided by 8? 2. All right. Here, what do we notice on 40? First off, are there any questions over those?
No.
First ones that we did? All right. 40, what do you notice about these?
There's a variable.
There's variables, okay? So there's like terms we have to take care of. What are like terms on number 40? R and 10R. Let's combine those. R plus 10R is? 11R plus 8. Can we do anything else with that expression?
No.
Why not? No more like terms, so that's our final answer with that one. On 42, what's our first step we have to do first? Yep, distribute -2 times 10a. -20a. And then we have -2 times 6. -12. And then bring down that -5. What do we see? Yep, we have like terms, so I'm going to keep that -20a, and then we have -12 minus 5. -17, good. And then here, can I do anything else? No. Moving on, we're doing evens. We want to solve. What does it mean by solving each expression? What does it mean to solve? What's the goal? We want to get the variable, in this case, k by itself. So what's the one step we got to do to get k by itself? Subtract 10. So I have 21 minus 10. 11 equals k. That's your answer. All right, 46. We want to get x by itself. What's my one step to get x by itself? Divide by 2. Always divide by the number with the x. So we get x equals 19. Tell me if I'm going too fast. On number 48, we got a couple steps. We want to get m by itself. What's my first step? Add 2 to both sides. A -18 plus 2. -16 equals 4m. Last step would be to divide by 4. So we get m equals -4. Make sure. All right. 50. careful with this one. We have -1 plus 8p equals 39. What's our first step? Yep, it's negative, so we want to do the opposite. We want to add 1 because our goal is to get rid of it on that other side. So then we have 8p equals 40. Yep, last step is divide by 8. So we get p equals 5. So remember, this whole crossing out situation when we're moving them, we want to get those to cancel out to essentially get us 0. Okay, so if you ever get confused, if you thought, oh, I need to subtract 1 to get it on the other side, well, if I subtract 1, do those cancel out? Do these cancel out if I do that? No, I would get -2, right? So we're going to have to work backwards. Can I move on? 52, what do you notice? Fractions, gross. We don't like them. Let's get rid of them. How do I get rid of fractions? Multiply everything by the bottom number. So our bottom number, multiply by 2 to everything. All 3 terms, every term. So what do I have left with the left? Yep, I have -3 plus v equals, what do I have on the right? -8. Is there any questions on that step that I just did? I'm just multiplying by the bottom number, and then they end up canceling each other out. That's why I have to multiply everything by the same thing so value doesn't change. Now we want to get v by itself. What's my last step? Add 3. So we get v equals -5. Nice job. Last page. Look at 54. What do you notice about number 54?
All of them have different denominators.
All of them are different. Uh-oh. What do we do? Find a common denominator, or what they all go into. So I'm just going to start on the left. Do they all go into 3?
No.
No. Do they all go into 2?
No.
Do they all go into 9?
No.
Well, shoot. Now what? See what other numbers. I would start with your bigger number. What's another multiple of 9? Lower. 18. Do they all go into 18? Yes. So that's the number we're going to pick. Okay? So we're going to multiply every term by 18. Because they all go in. Our goal right now is to get rid of the denominators. Get rid of the fractions. So looking at the 1/3, how many times does 3 go into 18? 6. And then the 3 is gone. So what do I have left there? Don't forget about this 6 up here. We have 6 times 1. We have -6n. Good. Looking at the next term, how many times does 2 go into 18? 9. What do I have left there? -9. And then on the right, how many times does 9 go into 18? 2. So what do I have left on the right?
2.
Equals 2. Is everyone okay with that process right there? Does everyone understand how I got 18? Okay. Now we just got to solve. What's my first step? Yep, we want to get n by itself, so we want to add 9. So we have -6n equals 11. Last step. Divide by -6. So we have n equals, it is a fraction. I would be okay if you left it like this, or if you wrote it as a mixed number. If I wrote that as a mixed number, what would it be? How many times does 6 go into 11? Once, with how many left over? Yep. Or what's the decimal for 11 divided by 6? Thank you. 1.83. I'd be okay with any of those answers if you got there. Any questions on that one? You just don't forget when you do this step up here in red, don't forget that this number that you get multiplies with the number that's already there. Okay. All right. Looking at 56, we want to solve for x. Is it a big deal if we have decimals? It's not as big of a deal as fractions, right? We're just gonna leave them all as decimals. So treat them as numbers. So what do we do? Distribute 5.8 times negative 1.32.
Negative 7.656.
656? Yes.
Do we get a calculator when we take our finals?
Mm-hmm. And then 5.8 times x.
5.8x.
And then we have equals 77.604. All right, what's our next step?
Add 7.6.
Yep. Add 7.656 to both sides. What do I get on that right side if I did that? 77.604 plus 7.656.
85.36.
85.36.
26.
26. Last step.
So divide by 5.8.
Yep. Get x by itself by dividing by 5.8. X equals
14.7.
14.7.
Yeah.
You can leave your answer like that. Or if you wanted, you can do 14 over 14 and 7/10. $58. What do we do? Distribute 7 times x. 7x, 7 times 8.1. 56.7. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Equals negative 28.7. Next step.
Minus 56.7.
Yep. Subtract 56.7. What do you get when you do that? I know some of you got it. What'd you get when you subtracted those?
It's a negative.
85.1. 85.4.
Yeah, it's 85.
Last step.
Divide by 7.
Divide by 7. X equals
12. Negative.
positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative 12.2. Good. How are we feeling? Got a couple more to look at. 60, what's our first step? Distribute. We have 3 times 6v, 18v, and then we have 3 times 6, 18 minus 1. What do we have to be careful with now? Yep, combine like terms first. What do I have as like terms? 18 and negative 1. So do I add 18 and 1, or what do I do?
Subtract.
I want to keep that same sign, right? So I want to do 18 minus 1.
17.
So plus 17. Now I can solve. What do I do first?
Subtract 17.
Subtract 17. Negative 127 minus 17 is?
110.
Careful.
It's negative 1.4.
Yep.
Oh, shoot.
Last step.
Divide by 18.
Divide by 18. So we get v equals 7.
Negative 8.
Negative 8. Okay, biggest thing on this one to be careful with is that negative 127, that's negative. It's not positive. You got to make sure you remember that that is negative, or you see that that is negative. Okay? Nice job. We got one more to look at. What do you notice on number 62? There's like terms everywhere, right? Can we do anything with the left side of the equal sign?
No.
Nope, so just rewrite it. 7 plus 2n. What are like terms on the right? 8 and 5. 2n and negative n. What's 8 plus 5?
13.
13, and then we have 2n minus n.
1n.
Yep, plus n. Uh-oh. We have n's on both sides.
Subtract 1.
We gotta move one of them. So I'm just gonna underline so I see both of them. I have 2n and n. We want to get those on the same side. Does it matter which one I move?
Yeah.
It does not. Which one do we want to move?
1n.
You want to subtract the 1n? Subtract n. So I have 7, 2n minus n
And
plus n equals 13. Last step, subtract 7. So I have n equals 6. Any questions on anything we went over today? Okay, lots of practice with solving for x or a different variable. Okay. When you get your odds done, make sure you check your answers on that answer key I handed out to you yesterday. If you want to borrow one, I have extra up there. Just make sure you put it back so it's there the next days. Okay?